So in this video, we're going to be taking an evergreen wreath and we're going to make something super cute with some items I found from the Dollar Tree. Now in a separate video, I'm going to show you how to make one of these from a Dollar Tree wreath and a garland. So first thing I want to do is open this up. I like to just go ahead and stick my fingers in there and fluff everything up. Now you could do a grapevine wreath, but you would want to put some kind of greenery or something behind it. So we're going to fluff this up. The other things you're going to need is you're going to need some kind of cup or container. You know, I have just a little one from Christmas hanging around here, but anything that's round and has an opening would work. You're going to need some eggs from the Dollar Tree. They have all different kinds of eggs. So they have little glitter ones. They have glitter ones with little decorations. Some have the picks in them and some don't. They have little sequence ones. They have small ones. So I have kind of a variety. They also have some covered in yarn. Here's some of the large ones we're also going to need a carrot and one of the larger flocked eggs. So these are the ones that are covered in yarn or string. The flocked eggs come in several different colors. They have really adorable flocked bunnies. Then you're going to want some ribbon. I picked up this ribbon, and what I'm going to pair it with is ribbon from Sam's. So the first thing I want to do is add in this cup. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our cup, we're going to attach it up here at the top, and then we're going to have eggs spilling down here. We're going to have a bow on this side, and we may put a bunny and a little egg right here in the center. But I specifically wanted this one because I can use this handle to easily tie in. This is a 24-inch wreath. If you wanted to use less supplies, then I would just get a smaller one, make a smaller one. This cup is about 4 inches, and so what I want to do, I don't want to have to put eggs all in this cup because that's just going to be a waste. You're really not going to see them. So what I like to do is take one of the pool noodles, see about where I need to cut it off, about right in here. So I'm going to fill a lot of this in with my pool noodle. Okay, so then it's going to be really easy. And the reason I like to use the pool noodles is because unlike the styrofoam, so it's $1.25 for the pool noodle, and I can use this multiple times in different projects. I don't really need it to put things in. I just want it to kind of cover the base so I don't have to put so many eggs in it. So while I'm waiting on the glue to get hot, I'm going to go ahead and start getting some of my eggs ready. So I'm going to show you, I have, for the sake of time, already done this on some. What I do is just open the package, take them out, and I want to use all different colors, patterns, styles, because that'll make it look really great. I know I'm not going to use a lot, so I'll go ahead and trim off and keep the stick. So what I'll do is just cut off, I want 2 or 3 inches, and then I'll use this stick in the ones that don't have a stick in them. Okay, so if they have a little tie, I'll just cut that off, and then I'm just going to take the stick and press it right in. So I can use one of these sticks for multiple, and it's going to make it really easy to glue in to my base. You don't need a lot. You can even use this to stick into our pool noodle, because our pool noodle is very much like styrofoam. So that's what I do. I just go around. The small ones come in a bag of multis. So, of course, with no stick. So I just put the sticks in, take the little tie off. Okay, just place my stick in. This gives me a lot of different options of sizes and colors. And I don't have to spend any extra money because I'm just going to use the sticks that came with the actual ones that came on a stick, because you don't need them that long. I also don't like to pull out that little ribbon because it can make a hole that's going to be harder to cover. So just cut it off and put your little stick right in there. So once I have a good amount of eggs ready to go, I'm going to take my pool noodle. I'm going to dip it in my glue, so I'm using a glue pot. Okay, so I just push it down in there until it's glued nice and tight to the base. Then I'm going to take this. I'm going to push it down to the bottom. I'm going to take a couple of my pieces here, tie this down. I'm also going to use some wire, but for the start, I'm just going to use my pieces, just kind of tie it down. Then I'm going to take a little bit of wire. You want your wire to be a little bit thicker. You can get wire from the Dollar Tree. I'm using green because it'll be a little bit easier for me to hide it. So I'm going to flip it over. So I'm going to go around this wire base, push my wire through. Okay, and on the other side, now if I have any trouble here, I can use a weaving needle. So these are little plastic weaving needles. They work really great. You can just put the wire around it, fold it over like you're sewing, and you can actually push it right through. It makes it a little bit easier to see where your wire's coming so that you can easily just tie on the next piece. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I want it to stay like that. Okay, and then I'm going to start putting in the eggs and letting them spill down here. So I'll start with some of the larger eggs. I'll just put them in a little bit of glue, and I can pop it right in that little bit of the pool noodle that we put in there. I want to take some of the little ones. So what I want to do is just cover up where that's coming out. So it looks like I have a whole little bucket of eggs in here. This is where the little ones really come in handy because you can cover up spaces that otherwise would allow someone to look in there. Okay, just like that. Okay, then we can start to have them coming out. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so I'll start gluing it into my evergreen here. Now with the evergreen, what you want to do is get your glue, put it in there, and kind of shake it around. That way you'll make sure it is gluing to that. So just keep adding our little eggs in. Let's put a couple of these large ones in. Now I bought quite a few packages of these because I knew I was going to use them in multiple things. Just trim off the sticks. These sticks are awesome. I will keep these sticks around even if I don't use it all, because these really you can use in so many different ways. You'll see other projects that we do where we're going to use sticks like this. You can also get the little sticks from the Dollar Tree that have the little skewers. Those work great. So the first thing I want to do is just start to cover it, and then I'm going to come back with the smaller ones and start to fill in. So you'll see we'll kind of use some of the bigger ones, and then we're going to come back and fill in with some of the smaller ones. Don't worry too much about the greenery, because you do want to have some, because it's going to make it easier to glue to. That's why I wanted to use this base in particular, because it is so much easier to glue into. You can also take a grapevine and put some swag, some pieces of a swag in it, some pieces of a garland in it. Any of those work really well. Okay. All right, let's get some yellow in here, purple. So this is going to be the bottom. This is going to be the top. Get some green in here. I like this yellow a lot. And you'll see when you go to the Dollar Tree, they have all different kinds and all different colors. And that's what you want. You really want a good mix of colors.
Now you're going to take all of the eggs that you have added the stick to, and you're going to start putting it in the wreath. I had mine get larger as they go down, because that's how I imagine it would be spilling out of a can.
So I've gotten down about as far as I want to go, because I want to have my bunny in here. So you can see here's my bunny. So I want my bunny to be down here, okay? So I don't want the eggs to spill over so much that it's going to cover my bunny. Okay, so we'll just leave it there for a second. We're going to have this carrot, okay, in here, and probably one of the larger eggs. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the bunny there so I can visualize where it's going to go. Now I'm going to take these little pieces, and I'm going to start filling in some of these spots. Okay. Here, and I'm bringing in some of the other colors, like the orange. That's going to make it look really cute. If you have a lot of glue strings, the best thing to do is get a hairdryer, put it on low heat, and it will take those strings right away. You can also put them right back in your glue pot. Some of these eggs had not been glued because I was showing my group some of these ideas. So you want to make sure you put some glue on it when you're putting that stick in, so it'll stay in place. Okay. Oh, how cute. Okay. here. A few more of the sequins. I like these a lot. I wasn't sure I was going to like them when I got them, but I do. The colors are really vibrant. That's why I like them. Okay. I'm just kind of filling in holes. There. So the little ones come in a package like this. They have 12 pieces in them. The large ones come 6 to a pack. Some come 4 to a pack. Okay. We are going to put some sticks in him to help keep him up. If you have trouble, you can use an ice pick or an awl, just a little something to poke a hole in it. Let's see, how much do I need? About this much. Okay. I want 2 to 3 places. Get it as far up as I can, that way I can make sure it's gonna have plenty of spots to glue from. So there's kind of tough, so let's put it in back here. Okay. This way I can get multiple points to glue to. Okay, so I can get glue on my little pieces here. I can place them in there. Make sure it's getting good. There. So remember, I'm making mine very large because I knew I wanted to have some things in it. So it's going to look a little better if it's larger. But you can make this on a much smaller scale. Okay. I accidentally poked it through, but don't worry, that will be on the bottom side and you won't see it. So if that does happen, just put it on to the bottom so it can't be seen. It is very easy to accidentally poke them all the way through, so do be careful when you're putting the little sticks in, because that will happen. And I want to put it in so the sticks can't be seen. So, there we go. Punch there. Maybe one more right there. What I love about this is it's a little different. It's It's gonna look a little different than some of the others that are out there. Just makes it fun. Okay. You can see I wanted mine to be really super full. Just remember, you don't have to do it that way. You can make it not quite as full. Okay. Put a little right in here. Okay. And then maybe one right here. I think that'll be good. There we go. All right, so we have our eggs in. Look how cute that looks. Doesn't that look like our eggs are spilling out of our cup? Let's see. Let me see if I can fix that cup a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna put one right here. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's so cute. There we go. So see, it looks like it's spilling down. So let's make our bow, because we're going to put a bow here. I also found this cute little stop sign. You could put eggs on it, or, you know, bunny hunt or something, and have it kind of coming right up here. So they're real easy to paint. You can use paint pens to write on them. So we're going to start on our bow. We're going to use pretty much all of the colors that are in our focal ribbon. We have 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. Doesn't matter which ones we use first or last. There's no rule that says you have to do it one way or the other. I generally do it based on color. So I'm actually going to go with the lighter color at the bottom and then work my way up. All right. So I like to dovetail my 2.5 inch. I just fold it over and I cut at an upward angle towards the wire. That's going to give you that nice little dovetail. Let's do like a 12-inch tail. Okay, when I put it in my bow maker, this is an easy bow maker, I slide it down sideways, I twist it on the side where the loop is going to be. And then I'm going to take it, pull it across. I want a 6-inch loop, so I'm going to go to where it says 6 inches. I'm going to put it back down sideways again and twist it on the side of the loop, so this side. If you have a patterned ribbon, you'll see that your pattern will be upside down. Okay, so again, sideways on the side with the loop. Okay. We're going to do 2 like this, just the exact same size. Okay. I'm going to bring it out, trim it off, and go ahead and dovetail it. It's easier to make sure your dovetail is going to be right if you hold it upwards. Otherwise, it's real easy to cut it the wrong way. Okay, then I'm going to come in with this light pink. So remember I said it doesn't matter which size. You can mix and match them. You can start with the small on the bottom, big on the top. It really doesn't matter. I want to make these a little bit longer, so maybe 18 inches. I'm just going to do one. This is what I would call a 2-1, because I did 2 loops, then 1 loop. All right, I can use that other one to measure out. Let's do the blue. Okay, so we're going to match that purple one. This time we're going to go a little bit smaller, so about 5.5 inches. And what I can do is move my ribbons and just hover over and see if I'm in that 5.5 inch range. Then again, you can also bring your ribbons up to the center and make sure they match. I like to do this so that I can see the ribbons in the back a little bit easier, because they're going to be sticking out slightly behind these. So I love, this is what I call stacking the bow. I love doing that because it allows you to see the other ribbons. It just kind of gives you a little bit of fun interest. I'm going to put the green in. Okay, so we want a longer tail with the shorter ones. Okay, so right there, and right here. I want to do this bright pink. This time we're going to go to 5 inches. So just a little bit less than that one. And if I'm not sure, I can pull them up, make sure they match. There. And right there. There we go. Perfect. Now I like to kind of pull mine out a little bit. You don't have to do that. You can leave them stacked up. And then we're going to do the yellow, and then we're going to put our focal ribbon on. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to do this ribbon. This is the ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I want a longer tail. Okay, and I want to do about a 4-inch loop. And we're going to do 3 of them. Now, one thing I want you to see is our bunnies are going in different directions. Okay, so to correct that, after you've made your loop, you're going to pick it whole bow up and flip that loop. So one loop on one side, you're going to flip that over. I generally tend to do the one where I think there's going to be less, or if it's the same, I just do each one. Okay. There we go. Now, one of the tricks to making great bows is using zip ties. Zip ties really help you a lot because they're going to allow you to get that bow super tight, and you're going to be able to get a much better fluff. So if you've ever had trouble getting your bows to fluff out, make sure you're using a zip tie. I start it, go all the way down to the bottom, and then I pull it out. I let the zip tie do the work for me. Because if I try to pull it out with my hands, there's a good chance my ribbons are going to get messed up. Now, you can see the channel that that bow maker made in the ribbon. Okay, so there it is a little better. I want to hold one side with my hands, physically hold it so that the ribbon's not going to move. I'm going to take that zip tie, move it around the back, and then I'm going to make sure it's in that indentation. I want it to stay exactly where it is. I'm not going to move my ribbon. I'm going to get it not quite tightened, and then I'm going to flip it over, put a pipe cleaner in the back. You could also use a zip tie or wire. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten it really good. So you see how nice and tight that made it? It's going to make it easier for you to fluff your bow. The first thing I do is pull my tails out. So the ones that have the two, I'm going to go ahead and pull those out. And then I'm going to fluff. So this makes it a little bit easier when you go to fluff. Okay. I like to hold all three of these in the back while I fluff. And what I do is I twist it back and forth. And the reason I do that is, you see how these are stuck down in there? We want those out. So we pull those out. You want to start on one side and go up the other. Make sure all your tails are in the front. That's going to make it a little easier. Right through there. So pull those little pieces out. Just want to go to each one, do the same thing. We've got our little focal ribbon. Okay, so let's do the other side. There we go. Perfect. Now for our tails, I'm going to trim off my zip tie now. If you have trouble getting the zip tie tight, you can get something called a zip tie gun. Okay, it looks like this. You load the zip tie in the side, and then you pull on this, and it tightens and cuts it off for you. That's also in my Amazon shop. So for these 1.5 inch, I want to roll these up. So what I like to do is take my thumb, put my thumb right here, and I'm going to just kind of use my thumb, both of them, to walk it up like this. Just kind of keep it in the middle, and then I can gently pull it out. So I'm just walking my thumbs up like this, and then pull it out. You can use anything that is round if you have trouble with your hands. You just want to make it pretty loose because it's going to stay better. And it just looks so cute. You can do this with 2.5 inch, but I tend to like my 2.5 inch just kind of dangling down. But it's really up to you what you like. There's no right or wrong. Okay. There we go. So now we have this gorgeous bow. This bow cost us very little because we use that Sam's ribbon. It's not going to cost a lot. Okay. So now I could either put my bow at the bottom with the little bunny coming out, or I can put it at the side, which I think is what I want to do. Okay, so I'm just going to take my pipe cleaners, just go right through it. I'm going to tie it towards the outside, so I'm just going to go right around where the little metal frame is. Just tie it off, and then I'll just tuck that right back up into the wreath. There, like that. If you wanted to have your little egg coming out, that's cute. Let's do that. Okay, let's trim that off. Okay, so we're just gonna do like our other eggs. Get some glue on it. There. Okay. All right, now I want to put the little carrot kind of coming up this way. Okay, so we're going to put them in the opposite direction. Just kind of use some of the greenery to cover that up. And I like having that little greenery there because it makes it look like he has a little bit of grass. All right. So we made a very professional looking wreath with mostly Dollar Tree supplies. Let's pull that up just a little. There we go. How adorable is that? So make sure you're watching for other projects we have coming up. And I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.